The following is a paid program. Talk 103.7 WTIP and Cable Channel 7 welcome you into Financially Speaking with Jim Taunton. Find us live on radio, TV, the IBX Media app, and on YouTube. Just search Financially Speaking NC or get the link at WTIPFM.com. The opinions expressed in this show are for general informational purposes only and not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine what investments may be appropriate for you, consult with your attorney, accountant, financial, or tax advisor prior to investing. Securities and investment advisory services are offered through Genoa Wealth Management Incorporated, member FINRA SIPC. Now, here's your host for Financially Speaking, certified financial advisor, Jim Taunton.
Good evening from Greenville, North Carolina, in our posh studios for Financially Speaking. Actually, it's my home office here in Greenville. And I would be looking out my window, but we have such a beautiful, clear sky. The sun would be shining in because my window points to the west. I can see some beautiful sunsets through this window. But not tonight. We are looking at some, what they call them, circle lights or whatever it is, trying to give us a little false light. But they're doing all right. But I'm glad you joined us. Hope you'll be glad you joined as well when it's all said and done. This program, it's a paid-for program. I pay for the half hour, but I love to impart some knowledge to you that helps you sometime during the 30 minutes, which means I'd much rather talk to you about something you feel is important to you. That way we know for sure we're giving you something during this program that that'll help you. And the only way to do that is if you call. And if you call the number, it is 252-561-TALK, 561-8255. And if you call with a financially related question or comment, your name goes into the drawing for dinner for two at Ottavola, a local restaurant here in Greenville. I'll even pay the tip. If you're not close to Greenville, I'll work something out with you. I promise you. Get you something that's valued about the same as a dinner for two at Ottavola. I just appreciate phone calls, to be honest with you. I've done this program long enough. We're 30 years into it now that I don't really need to do it as far as getting the word out about my practice. But I just enjoy teaching and talking to people. And I'll do this probably as long as I'm mentally and physically able to do it. Even when I leave the business, I can continue to do this. So that'd be kind of fun. Have no constraints then, like I do now. Call me during the break. We'll go to a quick 2-minute break and come back and start give you some information. But again, I'd rather talk to you. So call me during this first 2-minute break, 561-8255. And we're area 252-561-8255. And we'll take your call first when we come back.
Aiden Golf and Country Club invites you to become a member. Come tour our beautiful clubhouse, ballroom, and facilities. For a quality golf experience, sign up for our discounted special membership rates. Low monthly dues with no quarterly food minimum or assessments. Folks love to play golf at Aiden Golf and Country Club. Cool off at the pool all summer. Enjoy excellent food and beverages from the snack bar. Even store your own cart, unless you like to walk. Call 746-3389 for special limited membership rates at the Aiden Golf and Country Club.
My practice has been built on accessibility, responsiveness, and a willingness to be proactive for my clients. I'm not afraid to make recommendations relating to your investments and planning. I do hope all of your financial decisions are good ones, but let's not rely on hope. Let's roll up our sleeves and get to work.
Jim has attained 3 professional designations: Certified Financial Planner, Chartered Life Underwriter, and Chartered Financial Consultant, which entails 20 courses of study with examinations and a comprehensive national board exam, administered by the Certified Financial Planning Board. Jim has been practicing in financial services since 1979, which includes investing, planning, and insurance to help you meet your financial goals. Among the many awards Jim has received in his career is his selection to the Guide of the Top Financial Planners by the Consumer Research Council of America. So if you want to work with someone who is working for you, call Jim at 756-4700 or email him at planning@financiallyspeaking.com. That's 756-4700 and planning@financiallyspeaking.com.
Welcome back to Financially Speaking. Jim Taunton here, and let me see. Nope, no text from the producer, so we didn't have a phone call. If you'll notice, we don't have the money music anymore for intro or break, coming out of the break. And that's because we were told not to. It's copyrighted music, and we did not pay to use it. So we're using something, I assume, that is free and in the public domain. I'll leave that up to the powers that be that produce the program. So, the Fed did not raise rates again, second time in a row. And that has fueled conjecture that they are done raising interest rates. And that has fueled a tremendous rise in the stock market. Today alone, we were up yesterday as well, but just today, this is what you need to understand, what can happen in the stock market and why in the vast majority of cases it's better to remain invested rather than try to time some bottom or top for that matter. But if you had panicked and gotten out of the market, in the last couple of weeks, guess what you would have missed? You would have missed today, just today. Listen to this, just today. The Dow was up 1.7% today. S&P 500 was up 1.9% today. The NASDAQ was up 1.8% today. So just today, you were up more than most savings accounts at banks pay you for the whole year. You were up over a third of what the money market funds, even though they're at very high numbers right now, you would have earned over a third of what a money market fund would pay you for the whole year. So unless you're in the position of not needing growth, but needing preservation of capital, maybe with income, if that's the case, then you don't really need to be in the market and experience the gyrations, the volatility and risk of the stock market. But if you're still in a situation where you do need continued growth, at least in some vein, on your assets, man, you see that poster over there on the wall hanging over my left shoulder. Trade your plan, not your emotions. Don't let emotions get you out of a market and miss a day where you were up 1.9%. I mean, that's just, that is phenomenal. I do believe the Fed has come to the end of their raising of rates. And if that is the case, then the market will have one less thing to fight, to worry about. Now, where we are with rates right now is definitely restrictive on business, on GDP growth. So they could leave it where it is right now for a long time, and it's still going to be harder for people to do business. So the GDP growth should continue to come down, and inflation will continue to come down as a result of that. And that's what they want. But most of what I'm reading and listening to says that we are going to experience a soft landing, which essentially means we're going to have inflation getting back to where it needs to be, to a comfort level, without recession. No recession. Read my lips. No recession. You remember that from George H.W. Bush, the first Mr. Bush, when one of his things that got him elected was, read my lips, no new taxes. And what did he do? He raised taxes. And guess what? He was not reelected, even though he had an approval rating off the chart after going into Iraq. And not Iraq. What did he do? Yeah, he did go into Iraq, didn't he? Anyway, but you can read my lips, and my lips say no recession. We'll see what happens. And that's just solely based on the information I'm gaining from people that I'm listening to. So there you have that. Now, one piece of information I want to provide you is what the market has done in the last 2 years, or not done in the last 2 years. You know, if you're looking at your statements and you are just very disappointed with what your statements showing your accounts have done, your invested money has done in the last couple of years, join the club. Churning markets like we've been in the last 2 years are just difficult kinds of markets. We've had some volatility along the way as well, but let me tell you what the markets have done. December of 2021, I actually have the charts sitting in front of me here. The Dow, all three indices, by the way, the Dow, the S&P, and the NASDAQ, hit tops in December of 2021. And we have not touched those tops since. Did you get that? Essentially, if your account value hit a high mark, 2021, December 2021, and it's below that, been below that for 2 years, there's good reason for that. The markets have not gained a point as measured by the indices since December 2021. The only way you would have made money in your investment accounts the last 2 years is dividends, good stock picking, interest on the fixed part of your portfolios, bonds, short, senior loans, money markets, and the like. And maybe if you had some real estate positions, you were getting some rental income or distributions, that kind of thing. But you wouldn't have gotten it on the increase of share prices or net asset values of mutual funds, stock funds. And it's quite frustrating. But, you know, coming to an end, I really do. I think December 31st, we're going to be much higher than we were at the beginning of this week. And let's hope that comes to pass. I know I do. I want some growth, for crying out loud. Where are we? Oh, yeah, 618. No, 613. It just looks weird. By the way, I didn't mention it when we started the program, but we started the program 30 minutes early tonight. We started at 6 o'clock instead of 6:30. That is not going to be a regular thing. It is. We did it because the station asked for us to do it, because they are going to be involved with a broadcast of a Duke football game tonight, which starts at 7, I believe, and they have to get set up and get logged into things and what have you. And I don't mind doing that at all. You know, they talked to me on and off over years about moving the program to 6 o'clock. They thought it'd be a better time for me. I just don't know. I'd love to hear from listeners. You know, if we have more listeners at 6, I certainly would be inclined to do it. But I'm just a creature of habit. I've done 6:30 for 30 years. So if you think 6 o'clock's better, you can send me an email. Let me know. My email address is jim@jtauntonfinancial.com. jim@jtauntonfinancial.com. Last name is Taunton. So Jim@J, tauntonfinancial.com. And I've told you this story on the program several times, but the name of my firm is actually Taunton Financial. But when I changed the name and went to Taunton Financial, and I went to buy a domain, Taunton Financial had already been bought by someone in Taunton, Massachusetts. Fancy that. So I had to add a J on the domain and put J Taunton as the domain. So that's why my email is jim@jtauntonfinancial.com, and my website is jtauntonfinancial.com. My ancestors came from Taunton, England, founded Taunton, Massachusetts, and then migrated south from there. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. All right. The number to call is 561-8255, 561-8255. And just a reminder, we're actually broadcasting now on YouTube. We broadcast live. Right now, you go to YouTube and search for Financially Speaking NC, or at Financially Speaking NC, and you'll find me, and you can subscribe, and you'll get notifications every week when I'm going on the air. So instead of having to use a radio program on your phone, or whatever, you can actually get on YouTube and sign in and see us do the radio program. And kind of cool. But anyway. All right, we're about midway the program, so let's do this. Let's take a quick break, and then I'll come back and start with this information. But I'd rather talk to you, so call during the break, 561-TALK, 561-8255, and we'll take your call first when we come back.
Aiden Golf and Country Club invites you to become a member. Come tour our beautiful clubhouse, ballroom, and facilities. For a quality golf experience, sign up for our discounted special membership rates. Low monthly dues with no quarterly food minimum or assessments. Folks love to play golf at Aiden Golf and Country Club. Cool off at the pool all summer. Enjoy excellent food and beverages from the snack bar. Even store your own cart, unless you like to walk. Call 746-3389 for special limited membership rates at the Aiden Golf and Country Club.
My practice has been built on accessibility, responsiveness, and a willingness to be proactive for my clients. I'm not afraid to make recommendations relating to your investments and planning. I do hope all of your financial decisions are good ones, but let's not rely on hope. Let's roll up our sleeves and get to work.
Jim has attained 3 professional designations: Certified Financial Planner, Chartered Life Underwriter, and Chartered Financial Consultant, which entails 20 courses of study with examinations and a comprehensive national board exam, administered by the Certified Financial Planning Board. Jim has been practicing in financial services since 1979, which includes investing, planning, and insurance to help you meet your financial goals. Among the many awards Jim has received in his career is his selection to the Guide of the Top Financial Planners by the Consumer Research Council of America. So if you want to work with someone who is working for you, call Jim at 756-4700 or email him at planning@financiallyspeaking.com. That's 756-4700 and planning@financiallyspeaking.com.
Welcome to Financially Speaking. No callers still. Crying out loud. No callers. All right, I want to talk a little bit about Social Security. I don't drink alcohol at all, but it sounded like I was drunk there for a minute. I'm not a Social Security expert. That's what I'll tell clients, but I have a working knowledge of it. I have to when I do financial planning. But I want to share some information with you I came across. And let's see, fool.com is where this came from. And it's going to talk about qualifying for maximum benefits. But we're going to talk about some other things as well. I've added some notes I'm going to add. But I get questions about Social Security all the time. And hopefully this may help the fog to lift. The maximum benefit, by the way, that you can have in 2024 from Social Security. And that would be if you were 70 years old in 2024 and had not started Social Security as of yet, you were starting it at age 70, it would be $4,873. Now, you qualify for that, of course, by earning the maximum that they tax for Social Security, which we'll get into in just a minute. So retirees can increase their Social Security benefit by waiting to start the benefit, but the last age that it increases is from 69 to 70. So there's absolutely no reason that I can think of why you would want to wait past 70 to start Social Security. But I will tell you that I advise most clients to start Social Security as soon as they retire. Definitely. To go ahead and start enjoying the money. There are a number of reasons for that. One of them is I've had so many clients to wait to retire, and then they retire and then get the bad word from the doctor, and it's 6 months later, and then their life becomes a series of doctor's appointments, and their retirement is ruined, and they haven't enjoyed any of that extra cash flow from Social Security. So that's one reason. The other reason is it takes a long time to recoup the lost Social Security income when you wait. And I'm going to give you some actual numbers here in just a minute. But it takes 40 quarters of contributing to Social Security to qualify for Social Security at all. 40 quarters is 10 years. So you have to have worked for at least 10 years, contributed to Social Security all that time to qualify for any kind of benefit at all. It won't be the maximum benefit, but to qualify for any benefit. If you want to try to qualify for the maximum benefit, you have to have contributed to Social Security for at least 35 years. And it sounds like a long time, but if you start working at 21, 35 and 21 is 56. So most people will work for 35 years in their lifetime, and almost everybody will be contributing to Social Security during that time. There are just a very few people that can opt out of Social Security. Preachers are one of them that can opt out. Don't recommend that either, but they can. So 35 years, if you contribute, will be the first step in qualifying for the maximum Social Security benefit. The second step is that the earnings test. The maximum amount that they tax for Social Security changes every year, but this year it's $160,200. It's adjusted for inflation every year. So you need to make $160,200 or more to have contributed the maximum to the Social Security system, and would put yourself in the position to qualify for the maximum benefit. But you have to have done that, each and every year while you're working. Next year, it's going to be $168,600. So, step three, workers are entitled to receive benefits, of course, at 62, but claiming Social Security before your full retirement age results in a permanent payout reduction. And claiming Social Security after your full retirement age results in a permanent payout increase. And as I said earlier, no advantage in delaying past age 70. But is there a distinct advantage in all cases for waiting as long as you can, at least until full retirement age? No, there is not. There can be, but like if you're going to continue to work, have employment income, You're going to retire, but you're going to go back to work doing something else, and your income is going to exceed the allowable by Social Security before they begin to tax your Social Security benefit. And your employment income plus your other sources is enough to pay your bills and to give you all the expense money that you need. Then you may want to delay Social Security. I am in that situation. I am 65 years old. I know I don't look it, but I am 65 years old. And I am going to continue doing what I'm doing for as long as I'm mentally and physically able. I enjoy what I do. It is my practice. I see people when I want to see them, who I want to see. And, it's fun. So why would I quit? I don't know what I would do if I were retired. I'd be totally bored, I'm sure. So I'm still working, although I'm 65. So there's no reason for me to turn on Social Security at this point. My income has not reduced. I don't need any help with cash flow. So I will wait at least until full retirement age to turn on my Social Security benefit. And my full retirement age is 66 and 6 months, I believe. People born in 1958, age 66 and 6 months is full retirement age. Let's see. Let me give you the numbers. This is the fun part because we're running out of time. The benefit for if you're born in 1958, if you're 62, if you start Social Security when you're 62, of course, that's gone for us that are born in 1958. But if you started then, you would have received $2,710, increasing, of course, with inflation adjustment. If you start at 65, which would be my current age, I would receive $3,426 if I had contributed the maximum to the system. Okay. Met all those requirements we talked about. I worked 35 years. I contributed at least the maximum to the system. Full retirement age, which is going to be 66 and 6 months, which what is about a year from now for me. The benefit would be $3,822. If I wait to 70, it would be $4,873. But Jim, is it a huge benefit? And most of the time, the question is for 62-year-olds, should I wait until 70? Just because my benefit increases by 8% a year, and it does. It increases by 8% a year, essentially. That's a lot. Should I wait? And if you're retiring and you're going to be scrimping and scraping on your cash flow, I'd say absolutely not. Don't wait. So the difference between 2710 and 4873, how do we determine if it's beneficial to wait that 8 years to start your Social Security? Well, we look at the loss of income, what that's worth, and then how many years it would take for you to recoup that loss of income. So from 62 to 70, I also have to add an interest factor, which I did. Essentially, the present value of that income between 62 and 70 that you would not have had, that $2,710 a month, is worth $178,000. So if we had $178,000 at 70, and we divide by the income that we're receiving, it would take 14 years to make up for the loss of income for that 8 years. 14 years. It just, in my opinion, it's not worth waiting, especially if you are retired and you could use the money. All right, I've got music in my ear. That means I am totally out of time. And I appreciate your tuning in. And if you like, you can get on YouTube and watch it again, or tell your friends and neighbors about it, and tell everybody to subscribe to the channel. And as always, this is Jim Taunton helping you make all of your financial decisions good ones. Good night, everybody.